Hey guys, I'm back again. This has been a crazy week. I messed up my shoulder somehow. No idea how, but I've always been talented when it comes to accidentally injuring myself. Sadly. So that's been horrible. My dog's been good-ish. I mean, she's a dog. She doesn't pay rent, and I buy everything for her, so. But I've come to be obsessed with Heyday. It reminds me of Farmville, that game that used to be super popular on Facebook. It's like that, only more fun, I guess. I think I've talked about that before. I don't know. The first one was really fun. Now it's getting harder because I don't know what I don't remember what all I've talked about. And I don't have a lot of interesting stories, so oftentimes my friends will have to listen to me tell them the same story 30 times. They are wonderful people. I don't have, what's B? B I have. That one I knew. That was 9, which I think is over here. Oh yeah, do you like my bruise? I had to go to the vampires so they could take my blood so I can get my driving permit, but that was it was literally a week ago and I still have a bruise from it, and it's very unattractive. Like, that's the thing. Like, even when I do get hurt, like my neck, or like, it's never fun. Like, when I was really little, I fell out of bed and fractured my arm. And like, that's not a good story to tell people. Oh, what happened? I fell out of bed. My room is really messy. Probably should have cleaned it. Or like, there's the great one that was like, oh, Aaron, what happened to your foot? It's not my foot. Even though I have a cast that goes up all the way almost to my knee. No, it's my pinky toe, and I broke it while I was walking. Okay, to elaborate on that story a little bit. I was walking, and there was a piece of concrete in front of my toe that I, for some reason, didn't see. It wasn't new, just forgot about it. I broke my toe. Honestly, the most exciting injury I ever got was when I fell off my horse and I bruised a muscle, which is a thing, apparently. I didn't know you could bruise muscles. I still have a little part of me that thinks maybe they were just messing with me, so that in the future when I would tell people this, I would sound like an idiot. And so I was on crutches. No! Sorry. I was on crutches for quite a while. Only like a month or so, and then I went back to horseback riding too soon, and I hurt. Well, I didn't hurt, it was already hurt, but I should have waited a little longer. Oh well. Oh, see, that's why I wish I could just uncover the whole thing and then just do little sections, but there's always these ones that have like 50,000 colors. Oh, I missed one, right? Yeah. And I don't want to work with 50,000 colors at one time. I want to work with one color at a time and then go from there. Okay, so we'll do E next. And then, dude, I miss my friends. My real life friends. My internet friends are always there. It's great. I wish my real life friends were like that. Like, you guys are just so busy and I'm not, and it's not fair. Because as you know, the world revolves around me, so if I'm not busy, you should be not busy too. Oh, I like this shade of blue. Blue is my favorite color. I like lots of shades of blue, but the light blues like this one are my favorite. It's like aqua turquoise-ish, whatever. Oh, but so I watched all the Harry Potter movies from The Sorcerer's Stone to The Deathly Hallows Part 2. So the first one was the original one, and it's old, and it was the first one, so it's back before, I don't want to say back before movies were awesome, but like it was good for what it was. Then the Chamber of Secrets, which I was like, why don't I watch this one more? And then I remembered, because Professor Lockhart drives me crazy, and I just can't stand him. He's so, like that scene when he's in, I think he's supposed to be in detention. It's like, could you think of any better way to spend your Thursday night or whatever than by helping me answer my fan mail? I'm like, well, I don't know about him, but I could think of like 1,000 better ways that I could have spent that particular day. But then, of course, everything it has to be that way, because that's movie magic. Everything has to go just right so that the plot conveniently works out in the end. That's why it's exciting when life suddenly works out, because there wasn't any movie magic. It just conveniently happened to play out that well. I don't see any more E's, do you? You probably can't see. Oh wait, no, there's one. It's right next to the 3, and the 3's are throwing me off, because 3's are like backward E's. They all blur together, I can't take it, what am I gonna do? Alright, B's were 9, so we'll go back and do some more of those. We'll put these away. And then we'll do 3 next, but I really wanted the pink one, and I just couldn't help but think, how much different would my room be if I picked anything except that shade of purple? And now people wonder why I wear black all the time. It's because I'm afraid if I buy something in purple, I'm not gonna be able to wear something else because it's not gonna match. Even though I'm an adult now and I can do whatever I want. And often I do. A lot of times I just say no because I can. It's really fun to say no. Especially when the people really want you to say yes. But no, I'm not. Like, I'm not a jerk. I just like, it's like Ron Swanson. It's like sometimes, what does he say? Sometimes I like to call people by the wrong name. So, because he doesn't like want them to think they're close or anything. And then it cuts to April. It's like, that's brilliant, Lester. I love that show. That was such a good show. Like, a bunch of people told me to watch it. Like, for a long time, they're like, oh, you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it. And I was like, no, I really don't. And then I finally did. And I was really glad that I did. Alright, I'm gonna take a break from these and go to H, because my hand keeps sticking to that. So what are H? But like, I'm one of those people though that it's like, if something did end up being really good, it's like, don't tell anyone that I liked it, because I'm very stubborn and I like to be right. Everybody likes to be right. but I'm working. I've gotten better at it. More often, I'm trying to admit my wrongdoings just for the sake of admitting them. Because it hurts, but it builds character. Because if there's one thing I can't stand, it's people who refuse to be wrong, even when they're so obviously wrong. And so I try not to be like the people I don't like. And so I try to be decent. It's hard though, especially when people aren't decent back. That's what I hate about work. Like, this lady comes in and she's like, I ordered 4 of these and you gave me 2. I'm like, oh. I'm like, okay. She's like, you owe me money. I'm like, whoa. It's like, whoa, chill. And I was like, and so I got my coworker, I'm like, and it's like, hey, her order got messed up and she didn't get it, can you fix it? And he's like, oh yeah. And then she says the same thing to him. And so he fixed it and took care of it after. It's like, what was her problem? He's like, I don't know. I was perfectly willing to fix it for her, and she just had this terrible attitude. Sometimes though, it's not people, it's me. Like, sometimes someone, especially like if I'm already not having a good day, so I'm just like, hi, how are you? And I'm like, how dare you ask me how I am? Who do you think you are that you can just kindly ask me how I'm doing? Someone told me about this Netflix series. People told me oh, goodness me. That was close. Like, a lot of people always tell me, it's like, oh, you have to watch this. And similar to how I was with Parks and Recreation. I was like, no, I really don't have to. And like, it could be a Parks and Recreation thing. It could be the greatest show in the world. And here I am missing out because I don't feel like watching it. Okay. Let's do F, which is 12, which should be that one. What's that? Oh, okay. So shows that people say I should watch. I think that's where I was. But like, I don't want to. One, because I'm so used to seeing K-dramas, and if you've seen K-dramas, they're different than American shows. Just the plot, the characters, the behavior. Like, it's really different. I'm so used to the fluffy, fun K-dramas that when I see an American show that's not a comedy, it's just odd. I'm like, oh, yeah, forgot you can do this on TV here, can't you? That was my favorite thing when I first started getting into K-dramas. Like, one of the first ones I watched was called W2 Worlds with Lee Jung-suk, who is my favorite. I love him. I will watch anything he's in. It doesn't even have to be good. I mean, it's never not good, but even if it wasn't good, I'd probably still watch it just because it's him. But it was the first kind of crime one I have watched, and apparently in Korea you have to blur out knives if you're using them as a weapon. If you're in the kitchen, like chopping vegetables or something, they're fine. But if they're being used as a weapon, they have to be blurred out. Which, like, I love because, like, I like it because I feel like I feel like American TV doesn't have enough censorship. And a lot of people are gonna probably hate me for saying that, and that's okay. You can hate me. I'll put you on the list. Just give me your name. I'll add you to the list of people who hate me. And, like, not to that degree, obviously. Then there's this one show called, Extracurricular. And my one Twitter friend said she loved it. And it's a lot for one show. It's a lot. Wow. Yeah. It started out, it's like, oh, I think I'll like this. It's like good, but it's got like kind of like a dark twist to it. I like that. And I'm like, oh, this is not going well. And then, oh, this is going even worse. Oh my goodness, surely it won't get worse than, oh, okay, never mind. And then, like, when it finally ended, like, I watched the whole thing. I mean, it was good, like, technically. So, like how in gymnastics or dressage you get like a technical score and then you get like 2 other scores. Technically, it was really good. But first off, okay, here was my main issue. He was ready to do the right thing, be like, hey, we should just go to the cops because we're kind of in over our heads here. And then she, who literally wasn't even a part of this scheme or whatever until, like, I don't even know, not that long ago. She was new. It's like, no, we're making so much money. If we get caught, we'll be in a lot of trouble. Okay. And, like, yeah, you'll be in a lot of trouble, but you'll be alive. You'll be alive to be in a lot of trouble. And then I'm still not entirely sure how it ended. It was I read something online where, like, it had a vague ending because I guess the director kind of wanted you to decide how you think it should end, which brought me to a moral crisis because, like, is it, like, you have to watch. Words cannot describe this show. But I don't want to recommend it to anyone. Like, I just don't like recommending that show to anyone. I just don't. I think your life will be perfectly fine if you don't watch it. But yeah, like, it was, as far as TV shows, it was good. But if you want something that's dark and mysterious with plot twists and cliffhangers, you should watch He is Psychometric. That was a good one. Oh my gosh, it was 26 minutes past already. I have so much more to talk about. I haven't even started on my Love Alarm rant. My one friend who's watching this is like, no, don't talk about it again. Because first went, okay, calm down. It's okay, it's just a TV show. Okay. First, when I watched it the first time, after it was over, I called my friend, very angry, and expressed my displeasure towards the show and the plot and the characters. Then I went online to read the webcomic which just made things worse. And then I forgot about it. I was like, nope, I'm just not gonna think about it. It has nothing to do with me. It's just gonna make me angry. Just forget it. And so I did. And then I got swept up in the Lost Tomb series, and I was too busy being angry about that to be angry about Love Alarm. But anyway, that's a rant for a different day. So then anyway, so time went by. Lots of time went by. And then on Netflix, I see an advertisement for Love Alarm 2. And my friend who had to listen to every single rant, because then I started ranting to her again. The same thing about the first movie. I had nothing new to say. I just wanted to express my displeasure again. She's like, don't watch it. And I'm like, I would rather die than watch that. And so anyway, I watched it. I don't even think I finished the first episode. And I googled the ending. And then I think I texted my friend like 2 paragraphs of a rant. Again, just the same thing I had already ranted about. Okay. No, calm down. It's okay. It's just a show. You know what though? It is a show, and it may just be a webcomic too, but it is. What kind of story goes like that? Like, what's it? I don't know who wrote it. But I don't approve. I don't approve how you wrote it, and if you weren't gonna write it right, you should just not write at all. But it made me so mad. Okay. And now, without going into details of the plot or getting too angry, or I don't want to start pacing back and forth across my room again in anger like I did last time. He said he loved her. She said that she loved him. They both loved each other, and they insisted that they didn't love each other. And then, just to make my life miserable, she ends up with his friend. Because, she's like, well, I only liked you because of the app. I'm like, who the heck loves someone just because an app tells them to? Like, you loved each other. And then, like, it was so obvious they still loved each other, but then they were just like, the reason they didn't end up together is because they were so busy trying not to be in love that they eventually just got annoyed with each other, being annoyed with each other. And so, that ruined their relationship. Otherwise, they could have lived happily ever after for the rest of their lives. But they didn't, and it's all their own fault because of that. Why are you letting an app tell you who you love in the first place? Like, what the heck is wrong with you? It was one of those things like there's another K-drama called Cheese in the Trap. I was like, you know what? I hope she doesn't date you, because then you can just date me and I'll be way nicer than she is. And so that's kind of how I felt when I was watching Love Alarm. I was like, you know what? Fine. If you don't want him, I'll take him. I don't care. Cheese in the Trap, though. That broke my heart, though. He didn't get anyone. At the end of the movie, all he had was a stupid sister who, granted, her attitude and personality drastically improved. But still. Like, they had no one else for him. He was just literally there to get heartbroken and add to the plot. And that makes me very sad, because, like, I know he's not a real person, but if he was a real person, that would be a very mean thing to do. The one after Love Alarm, though, the one that made me the most angry was Boys Over Flowers. And because I was like, oh, that's a classic, and it is a classic. Like, it was the first K-drama I watched, and I was glad that it was the first K-drama I watched. because it's like when I watched Soul Eater as the first anime I ever watched, because then nothing shocked me. Nothing I saw in anime surprised me, shocked me, nothing fazed me. I had already seen everything in the first show I watched, so we're all good. So it's kind of like that. So like you get a good, by the time you're done, you're well adjusted to the culture and kind of how things work in the land of K-dramas. But that show could have been so much shorter if he had just told his mom to go float a goat and stayed with her instead of being a jerk to him. And then, because he was being a jerk to her, I'm not even gonna go there. It's exhausting. Like, I was, like, it was a good ending, but, like, I was so glad it was over. I was like, I can't take any more of this. Which is kind of how I felt with Tempted. Tempted was, like, I don't even really like soap opera dramas, but that was, wow. Like, it was good because even though it was like a little over the top dramatic sometimes, I was like, whoa, I have no idea what's going to happen next. And I usually know exactly what's going to happen next when I watch Korean TV shows. So anytime I don't, it's a good show. But I still haven't finished on Netflix. It's called Romance is a Bonus Book, I think. It also has Lee Jung-suk in it because I am on a quest to watch every single show he's ever been in. Maybe not every single show. I feel like there's going to be a lot of them. And I already have a long list of K-dramas that I want to watch, but I'm not watching. But, alright. Oh my goodness, it's 35 minutes, and I didn't want this to be too long. I'm so sorry. I would love to keep going, though. This has been so much fun. But, I'll try and think of something interesting to talk about. At least this time, hopefully, I won't have to edit out 50,000 minutes of awkward silences, so. Until next time, I just feel bad just turning off the camera. I'll just do it when it does, and then I'll say goodbye 3 more times, and the third time I say goodbye. After I say goodbye, I'll just immediately turn it off. Good, there was another awkward silence that I can edit out so I can talk for a little bit more. But I will see you guys next time. Oh, before I go, I know I've been making a lot of these and not writing, but I don't know what to write about. Like, normally I'll write something when I feel inspired by something, and I haven't felt that inspired lately. But I haven't forgotten about my blog, the actual writing part of it. I don't know what to write. Maybe I'll I would never throw together a blog post. But there are 1,001 songs that I love, so maybe I'll do a Music Monday. I'm probably not going to do any more Whatever Wednesdays just because I do these, and this is basically what Whatever Wednesday is all about. But I'll try to do a Music Monday, and I'll keep thinking and keep looking for inspiration, and maybe one day it'll find me. It always comes by like the weirdest time, like at 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm crying about how tired I am. No, I've actually slept pretty good lately. Got most of the stressful things in life out of the way. That's a huge lie. No, I don't. But I'm slowly checking them off so they're becoming less stressful. But that just reminded me of something else I should probably be stressed about. So I'm gonna go worry about that. I'm kidding. It was a joke. Calm down. So I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. I wave, but like it just feels awkward. I'm waving right now goodbye. Even though you can't see me, I'm waving goodbye.